Good afternoon. You join me here in Carlisle city centre, where in this video it is going to be an unusual one, and I'm going to be riding from Carlisle to Edinburgh on the one-a-day bus on the route number X95 run by border buses. Now the X95 is a very confusing route. So you get 2 buses an hour that run between here in Carlisle to Galashiels in the borders, and buses run every 2 hours between Edinburgh and Hawick, and there's also an hourly shuttle between Galashiels and Hawick, meaning that there is buses every 30 minutes between Hawick and Galashiels. But there is also this one bus per day that goes all the way from Carlisle to Edinburgh and in the other direction, and we are going to be riding on the one from Carlisle to Edinburgh, in case you can already tell. Now the total journey time is 3 hours 45 minutes, so it's going to be one hell of a journey. And I can confirm that it is an Alexander Dennis Enviro 200 MMC that is running the route, since I saw it earlier, and it has an hour break here in Carlisle. So the bus is in half an hour, so let's get moving. So I'd just like to interrupt the video, and this is future me. And in case you can tell, well, I'm on a bus, not the X95, but you know, so I filmed this video about 2 months ago, and since then the timetable has changed. So the X95 timetable is very confusing, and I'm going to put some sort of diagram up on the screen just now. So the X95 is split into 4 parts. So you've got Edinburgh, Galashiels, Hawick, Carlisle. So when I filmed this video, this is how the timetable worked. So there's 2 buses per hour between Edinburgh and Hawick via Galashiels, and 2 buses per hour between Galashiels and Carlisle via Hawick, and an hourly shuttle between Galashiels and Hawick. So between Edinburgh and Hawick, buses were every 2 hours. Between Hawick and Galashiels, buses were every half hour, and between Hawick and Carlisle, the buses were every 2 hours. And there was 1 bus per day in each direction that went all the way from Carlisle to Edinburgh. The one from Edinburgh to Carlisle left about 7 o'clock in the morning, and in the other direction, the one from Carlisle to Edinburgh, which is the one I got, left Carlisle at 14:45 or 2:45 PM. But since then the timetable has changed in a positive way. So now there is 2 buses per hour from Edinburgh to Hawick via Galashiels, and however there is now a bus every 2 hours that goes all the way from Edinburgh to Carlisle, and an hourly shuttle between Hawick and Galashiels. So between Edinburgh and Galashiels, the buses are every hour. Between Galashiels and Hawick, the buses are still every half hour, and between Hawick and Carlisle, the buses are still every 2 hours. But the first and last buses of the day, no matter whereabouts you are on the route, the first bus of the day starts earlier, and the last bus of the day runs later. So big thank you to border buses, because that helps me quite a lot. So now you can make it from Carlisle to Edinburgh and back in one day, and have about 2.5 hours in Edinburgh, whereas previously you need to get the X95 to Galashiels, then an X62 to Edinburgh, and you'd probably have about minus 15 minutes in Edinburgh. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking now, and let's return back to the video. So when I was walking towards the bus stop, I actually saw the bus we'd be taking to Carlisle parked up having its break, and this is it arriving into the bus stop now. And the bus we'll be taking is an Alexander Dennis Enviro 200 MMC, and the specific bus we'll be taking is registered YX20 ODN, with its fleet number being 12003, and this will be our chauffeur that will take us from here in Carlisle all the way up to to Edinburgh. Now before we set off, let's take a look at what these seats have to offer. Now please bear in mind that I chose the best seats in the bus, and these seats all have tables, so that is the reason why there is unlimited legroom. There are USB charging ports which did work in this bus. Now if you're lucky enough to be sitting in one of the 4 table seats, you will be spoilt with wireless chargers, but please bear in mind these only work on certain devices. On the seat in front of you there is a phone mount where you can watch all your favourite videos that are uploaded by me, of course. Also on the seat in front of you there are some coat hooks which are, well, self-explanatory. There are also seat belts on these seats, which is somewhat rare on buses nowadays, and the seats themselves are actually quite comfy, but I don't think they're comfy enough for over a 3-hour journey. I mean, people typically don't ride on these buses for more than an hour. And please excuse the blurry shot, but there is also an information display at the front of the bus to tell you when the next stop is. And last of all, there is complimentary Wi-Fi on this bus. Now, it may not be the fastest Wi-Fi, but it's better than Wi-Fi I've seen on most buses and trains, so I'll give them that. So before we set off, let's look at the route that we will be taking today. Upon leaving Carlisle, we will head north towards Hawick, going via the likes of Longtown, Cannonbie, Hollows and Langholm, before having a scheduled 2-minute recovery break in Hawick, where we will then continue on to Selkirk and then Galashiels, with the X95 from Carlisle previously terminated. Then after a 7-minute recovery stop at Galashiels interchange, we will then fire on up to Edinburgh via the likes of Stow, Newtongrange, Dalkeith, and finally arriving into Edinburgh bus station at around 6:30 PM. Total journey time will be 3 hours 45 minutes, covering around 100 miles. And our top speed will be 62 miles an hour. And that's all there is to tell you about this journey, apart from the fact there are bicycle spaces on board this bus which I forgot to show you. And we departed Carlisle bang on time at 2:45 PM. Once we left our stop, the bus did make numerous stops, and by this point the bus was very busy and it was quite hard to film. And right now we are passing Greymoor Hill interchange, and at this point this is where we leave Carlisle and head north along the A7.
No worries at all, sir.
See you later. So, welcome to Edinburgh. I'm not going to lie, but that 3 hours 45 minutes actually went by really quickly. And I could have easily stayed on for longer with how comfortable it was. Anyway, so that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.